What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we thought we would discuss healthy friendships versus toxic friendships. It's pretty interesting when you think about your interaction with your friends and why you have to move on from other friendships that aren't really serving you. So let's get into it. So I would like to know from you what you think is important in a healthy friendship. What are some healthy friendship traits?
Top priority for me is someone that's supportive, that is just kind of like your constant cheerleader, that is always lifting you up.
So what do you think about communication? Because as we know, we all have different communication styles.
I think it's really important to find out what your friends' love languages are. Okay, so example, I know for Veronica, you're a big like talk on the phone kind of person, FaceTime kind of person. I'm only like that with Veronica and Shannon. I'm not like that with any of my other friends.
What's cool is that, like she just said, she does that because that's my love language. That's the way I feel loved from her. I feel connected, I feel supported. All we all want is connection and love. When she does that for me, that checks off that box and I feel good with her.
I also think it's really important that you don't develop a codependency on each other. Yes, you can rely on each other, but you should not be codependent. You should be able to have your own space, have your own time apart from one another, be your own individual people, and then come together and have a solid, healthy friendship.
What I love about us is that we all have busy lives. We live in different cities, but we still have managed for almost 5 years now, or is it 5 years that you've been away, to stay best friends and to feel like no time has passed.
Exactly.
So when we were both in school and both working like crazy before pandemic and everything, we didn't have enough the time we had that we do like this past year.
Yeah, sometimes it'd be like months without actually like FaceTiming or properly like catching up. But it's like I knew that the second I spoke to her again, no time has passed, everything's fine.
Yeah.
I know we're still besties.
Yeah. So now I think we should talk about some toxic traits and maybe some experiences we both had with toxic people.
Girl.
Toxicity.
Toxicity.
Let me just
flip this one over.
Flip this page. Help me.
Supportive. Toxic traits in friendships. Okay, again, a big one. What's the opposite of supportive? Not supportive.
Not supportive.
No, but it's such a huge red flag if one of your closest friends never really shows up for you, doesn't really like cheer you on in any of your goals, your hobbies, your interests, you know, like lifts you up or like encourages you to other people. Like I love bragging about Veronica to other people. She's such an amazing person. Like why wouldn't I lift her up?
I'm like, what are people saying behind your back? Like,
support your friends.
Back to support. Tell us about like maybe a moment or a couple incidents that you can think of where you felt like it was toxic.
Okay, so a big thing, you need to listen to how your friends talk to you. If they're like suddenly always kind of like making little jabs or kind of like bringing you down, and you're like best friends and you have that kind of friendship, so yeah, you can joke with each other, but if it's like a constant thing, you need to pay attention to that. Okay, example, story time. I had a best friend. We were like really close, and I started noticing the way she would compliment me. It wasn't really a compliment, it was a more like she was mad that I looked good or mad that I had this thing, and she would literally say like, oh, F you look so good. Like she would literally say, F you look so good.
So it's like camouflage behind a compliment, but it's her true like
her true
not being very happy
that exactly. Always like the sense of like competition. It's like, why? We're besties. We're supposed to be like supporting each other. I feel like you also need to be aware if your friend is gonna kind of like compromise for you. Like we've definitely had friends in the past that it was their way or the highway.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that wasn't a friendship. It was literally like
one-way street.
Yeah, it was like a cult. It's like we have to do whatever this person says.
Yeah, it's their ideas, it's their location choices, it's their food choices. I think that also when you have a gut feeling about somebody or a situation, most of the time you're right. That's what we have that gut feeling for. That's why we have intuition. And for the most part, I think you all have probably had a situation where you've like, I freaking knew it. I knew it. Like, oh, I've obviously experienced some of those feelings. Follow your gut if you're feeling like there are some toxic behaviors.
Because it's so hard to recognize that it's toxic when you're in that relationship, whether it's your partner or friend or whatever. You love them. Obviously, there's so much love in your heart for them, so you don't see it. You're blinded by it.
You want to see the best. You purposely push away the gut feelings that you feel. You're like, no, like I don't, like I'm probably wrong. And you talk yourself out of things and question it. It's hard to have conversations like that, but straight up question it.
You have to pay attention to how other friends of yours perceive a certain friendship that you have. Let's say you have a group of friends that you've been friends with for years, and then you introduce them to this new friend of yours, and they don't really like have a good gut feeling. They kind of sense something and they express it and say like, I think you should watch your back on this person. Like that is so important. Especially if they're good people and healthy friends.
If you've had any gut feelings and then it's being affirmed by other people around you, like recognize that and listen to that. And if you know anybody right now that is in a toxic relationship, do your part by voicing your concerns, because you could be helping them get out of something that they're just kind of feeling stuck in.
And I know it's so hard and like touchy to bring something like that up, but you have to, because deep down that person knows it's toxic. They know what they feel like when they're good and healthy with somebody, and they know what they feel like with this person.
Ooh,
that's another thing. Your energy levels when you leave your hangout with your friends. I had a friend where anytime we hung out, I would just leave and feel absolutely drained. And I just felt so negative afterwards. And I was like, Laura, you need to reevaluate this friendship, because you don't necessarily have the best time when you're around them. And you're in a bad mood when you leave, and you're exhausted when you leave. Why do you feel that way?
Yeah, like, do you feel good? Do you feel good? Straight up. Do you feel good when you're with the person? And when you're not with the person, like, do you feel good and supported and loved and connected and right?
Reevaluate your friendships. Just breaking friendships up.
Yeah. Stop being friends with her.
Oh, just another thing I'm going to touch on is it kind of relates to the codependency. I've had friends in the past where they would like feel a way if I hung out with other friends. That's so unhealthy. You need to have your own time to yourself, time with other people. You're allowed to hang out with other people. Like, I shouldn't feel a way because you're hanging out with whoever. Like, I shouldn't feel jealous. I shouldn't feel threatened. Like,
yeah, that's a healthy response.
Yeah.
You're watching this and you know you feel that way when it comes to your friends hanging out with other people. You need to look inside and see and have a conversation and do some inner work on yourself, or why do you feel that sense of insecurity within your friend to have other friends? Not just friends, like girlfriends, but like ex-boyfriends or whatnot. People try to isolate other people when they feel insecure. So if you feel like you've been in a situation or are in a situation where you're like, oh, I think I'll just stay home and avoid a fight rather than going to hang out with X, Y, and Z, or do X, Y, and Z, you know?
Preach. I remember I was seeing this guy, and I noticed he would like always feel away if like my friends were calling me or texting me or like FaceTiming. His energy would just change. And it's like, okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not a rude person. Like, of course I'm not gonna be on the phone with my friends if I'm having quality time with someone. But I don't know, if we were like going out doing errands, he could be on his phone doing whatever, but the second my friends would call me and give me attention, it was an issue. And that was such a red flag for me. Like, oh, he would feel away when I FaceTimed you and Chan. Like, why? why do you want to like isolate me away? And then I started noticing that when I was with him and they would call me, I would ignore the call and be like, I'll call you later, because I don't want to deal with his negative mood.
Repercussions to, like, do you see that we've all done it? I've had the exact same kind of situation where I would be invited out to go and do something or have dinner here or go to this party or whatever, and the person I was dating would not want me to do that and would make it very, very uncomfortable and hard for me to go and do what I wanted to do.
And what's interesting is obviously people have different ways of communicating. So I've definitely dated people where they were loud and angry, and
When
like,
they're pissed, you know it.
you know. But I've also dated people who kind of choose the more passive aggressive route, and I could tell something's off. I could tell like their energy's off, but you know, they act like everything's fine. And I'll genuinely just be like, what's wrong? And they'll be like, oh, nothing. But it's like, I know something's wrong because they're being very obvious in their physicality, their body language. And again, that would make me decline invitations from my friends because I wouldn't want to deal with that passive aggressive energy.
Uncomfortable, touchy, eggshells.
Walking on eggshells.
You get into like almost this sick cycle. It starts to almost become comfortable because you're like, I don't talk to that friend when I'm with this person.
Right.
And then like, you know, your routine that is like made up by this other person that is unhealthy. Nurture is on the board right now because, Nurture is on the board right now because.
Did you see her little?
Nurture is on the board right now because I feel like it takes a lot of effort to have the relationship we have. Nurturing your friendships is a huge part in this. And if you feel like you're in a friendship that isn't that fulfilling, are you doing your best to nurture them, and is the other person at that level with you? So thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something in this video that will help you with your friendships or relationships. It was really fun talking about like how we've grown in our past and healthy versus toxic, and just our life experiences that hopefully will help you. So I will see you in my next video. Bye.